Hello and welcome to Kajabi in 5 minutes. If you're just tuning in now and you haven't listened to the last few episodes, I'm currently in the middle of a series on offers. So it might be useful to jump back a couple episodes. This is the second video in the offer series. And today we are going to be talking about the rest of what you see on the offer details page. So last episode, I was talking about the internal title and the title. And I just missed the description box. And it's worth noting that the description box is mostly useless. So you probably don't need to put anything in there at all. You might be wondering, where does this stuff show up? And it is, to my knowledge, only visible if on a website or landing page, you use an offer content block, which isn't a very nice block to use. So I never do it personally. You may want to use it, and just know that the description in the offer that you see on the offer details is what fills the details of that offer block on a page. Now, I haven't actually even tried using an offer block in maybe 4 years, so maybe it's better now. But when I was tried it, explored it, back when I started with Kajabi, I found it to be just not the best way to say what I wanted to. So I've never used the description in the offer details since then. So that is it. Something that can definitely be ignored. Now, moving on lower in the page to the post-purchase action. You've got some options here to send somebody to the product library or to an existing landing page or a custom thank you page. And this is what's going to happen to somebody after they hit the purchase button and go through and finish their purchasing bit. So maybe there's an upsell or a downsell, or maybe they have to create their password and to set up their account. Once all of that stuff's done and that checkout page is kind of finished, then this is what happens next. Whatever you choose from that dropdown, the member library page, an existing landing page, or a thank you page, custom thank you page. So first of all, if you're selling a product, it's nice to send them to the member library page because they just bought that product. And the library page is where they get it. So it's just nice. And, I bought something and now I get it. That's kind of the thing that people expect. This is good even if you are giving access at a later date, because they still get to go and see what it is. So what access at a later date does is it prevents people from logging in and getting the content. They can still log in and they can still see what's there, but they don't actually get any of the content. They're basically restricted to that first page in your course, if that's what you're selling. It's like the dashboard where they log in and they see it, and they see, the lessons or the modules, and they see stuff on the sidebar and however you've got it designed, but they can't actually click into any of the stuff to use it. It's just restricted. So that's what happens, or that's what the experience is like if they are buying something that they don't get access to until a later date. Now, an existing landing page could be very appropriate if you don't want them to go right into the product right now, or if you just want to give them some different information, some more stylized information, or some introductory type stuff that's not related to the product you're giving them. And if you're not selling a course, or if you're not giving access to, a community or a coaching package, maybe people are buying access to a private podcast. An existing landing page could work great as, hey, you've made this purchase and now here's all the stuff I want to tell you about what you just got. That would work out very well. The custom thank you page is an interesting kind of dynamic that Kajabi has. It works with the thank you page on your set of website pages. And what it does is it uses that page as a base, and then anything you put in that little box there is going to be what's custom about the thank you page. So that thank you page that lives over in the website pages is kind of like your backstop thank you page for all your stuff. And then offer to offer, you're able to use that little box to create a custom thank you page where you just modify really the text that's going on to that base of a thank you page. And if you put stuff in there and then hit the save button, then come back to that box, you can hit the preview and see what it looks like. It's not the easiest thing to use, but if you're just delivering a real simple message, this works really well instead of going and creating a whole landing page for the purpose. If you want a more complicated or designed welcome to somebody after, then go ahead and create a custom landing page. Don't use this existing thank you or the custom thank you page as your tool, because it works better for more basic kind of simple thank you kind of statements. Maybe a little bit of instructions, and that's kind of it. Below in those post-purchase actions, you get options for your email, the default email, custom, or none. And the default email can be seen if you go into settings in the lower left and then find email templates, and then through your email templates, scroll through and see an offer purchased email. And that's going to be the default email. You'll notice it's very blah, and there's a bunch of code in it. And basically this email is generic, and it's set up in a way with that code so that no matter what offer is purchased, this email is going to say the same thing. And it's basically, hey, you made this purchase from such and such site of such and such product, and here's the button to log in. So this is a systematic email. It's going to be sent to somebody whether they're subscribed to your email list or not subscribed. The way that your offer page or your checkout page is set up, people may not subscribe to marketing emails when they make the purchase, but this default email isn't considered a marketing email. It's considered transactional, and so they will receive it regardless. You might be thinking, well, I don't like that email. I'm going to set up an automation that's going to subscribe them to an email sequence, and I'm going to welcome them with a nice introductory or initial email in my welcome sequence. And then I've got some other emails scheduled. Well, all of those are considered marketing emails. Any email in an email sequence is a marketing email. And that email is not going to be sent to somebody who isn't subscribed. So if you're giving people the option to subscribe or not subscribe on your checkout page, then it's good to be aware that maybe they won't get subscribed to your email sequence because they chose not to be subscribed. So that default email is something that would be great for them, because at least it gives them the acknowledgement that the purchase was made and a link directly to log in, which is useful. So you can customize that default email right on that screen there. It is a customization that only applies to that offer. You are able to, in the email, the default email templates in that settings area, you are able to apply customization as well there. Be warned, that is something that will be sent to anybody through any offer that's using the default email. And that could be just fine, because you might want to just make it a little bit more friendly. And if you're doing that, just be careful not to destroy any of the code, because that stuff's important. And if you accidentally do, just hit the reset button to restore it to its default nature over in that default emails space. So you can also choose none for them not to receive that email. And if they're not getting a product, for sure hit none, because the last thing you want is somebody that buys something from you that wasn't expecting a product to get an email saying, hey, you bought such and such thing from such and such site. Here's a button to log in. And they're like, why would I need to log in? What am I logging in for? So if you're setting up your offer as a ghost offer, and again, that means there's no product in it, then make sure you hit none on that email so that people don't receive an email and get confused. So this episode has kind of stretched on longer than I was thinking. I still haven't talked about automations, and there's some key things to note, especially about sending an email versus subscribing to an email sequence. That's important to understand, getting back to whether it's a marketing email or a transactional email. I'm going to cover all of that in the next episode, as well as other things about automations and offers. So I will see you then.